Let's get straight to the big one this week, and that is the Instigators. It will not be in theaters. So, before when we would say that, most people were going to movies. Now, sometimes by saying this movie won't be in theaters is not such a big tragedy because sometimes you get some really good, entertaining films at the comfort of your own home. And if you are a hermit like me who only goes out for things like meeting Eric and Pete at the Film Vault thing, it's a good news because Matt Damon and Casey Affleck star in a pretty big movie called The Instigators, directed by Doug Liman. Doug Liman and Matt Damon, they reunite after 20 plus years. I don't know specifically, but they worked together on The Bourne Identity. The Bourne Identity launched Matt Damon's career onto a completely higher level, and Doug Liman went on to just direct some really great movies. Most
Such as
notably,
Roadhouse.
yes, Roadhouse. So I'm assuming Eric Holmes might be in the bag for the Instigators because it's directed by Doug Liman. I don't specifically know how Eric feels about Matt Damon. He will express his opinions in a few moments. Casey Affleck, a longtime friend of Matt Damon, co-star of Matt Damon's co-star of that Matt Damon movie, Good Will Hunting years ago. They also worked together, I think, on the Ocean's movies. And the what other movie did they work together, Eric Holmes? Do you know?
Jerry.
Very good,
And
Eric Holmes.
I
I
want
think
to say
that
there's another one, but I can't think of
I'm
what that would be.
I'm sure maybe one of them made a cameo in one of their movies. But yeah, Jerry, directed by Gus Van Sant some years ago. I never saw that. Was that any good, Eric?
It's a lot of walking. So if you like In a Violent Nature, you'll be right at home with Jerry.
Oh, a lot of
So
walking.
if you like In a Violent Nature, you'll be right at home with Jerry.
Okay. That's very interesting. So now the Instigators, it centers on Rory and Cobby. Or Cobby? Cobby. I'm going to say Cobby. Rory is played by Matt Damon. Rory is he needs to reconnect with his son. So he has a lot of issues going on, and he needs a certain amount of money to reconnect with his son, or so he thinks. So that's Rory. Cobby is played by Casey Affleck. He's a ex-con, and he's desperate for another score. And he's going into this other score with some of his former or current business associates. And because of these business associates, he was actually in jail for a spell. So it's a very interesting dynamic with Cobby and Rory. There's another person into this operation played by Jack Harlow, and they are tasked with robbing the current mayor of Boston, played by Ron Perlman. And Ron Perlman from Sons of Anarchy. He's a corrupt politician. They try to rob him in election night. This heist, however, goes south, and Rory and Cobby must like really escape the politician and his henchmen, and also escape from the cops and a lot of corrupt things going on. But they also committed a crime, so it's sort of an interesting thing. Chau plays Rory's therapist, very concerned therapist, and a lot of the movie has these three people, Rory Cobby and his therapist, driving and running around Boston to escape the authorities. So that is the premise of the Instigators. A lot of it's part action, a lot of it is comedy, and I think this is just grade A entertainment. Don't really have to put your just thinking cap on, just enjoy the ride. And I had a really good time with the Instigators. What about you, Eric?
I had a great time with the Instigators. Yeah, I kind of want to say who else is in it, but I
Go
think
ahead, say it.
well, the thing is, I had a lot of fun watching it, and people would pop up and go, "Oh, dang, they're
I
in
know.
this.
I
Oh,
know.
dang,
That's such
I can't believe they're showing up." And
I
so I kind of, I would say if you want to know it, just look it up on IMDb
okay.
or just watch it. And when certain people pop up, you'll be like, "Oh crap, they're in this. This is awesome."
Yeah.
And they usually have really good parts. Who's the guy that starts up the whole thing?
Oh, that's
Is
Michael Stuhlbarg. He's the
he
guy.
was
He
in A
owns a
Serious Man?
yes, he's the lead in
Yeah,
Serious Man, and he was the father in Call Me by Your Name. A
yeah.
very good actor. Yes, Michael
Yeah,
Stuhlbarg.
it took me forever to figure out who he was because I was thinking Mandy Patinkin at first. I was like, man,
Yeah,
Mandy Patinkin looks good in this.
yeah.
Oh, that's not Mandy Patinkin. Well, but
No.
his character was great. Another character that shows up when we'll say when a house blows up.
Mm.
Not a spoiler because that happens like three or four times in this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's one of Casey Affleck's like go-to moves. He'll like
Yes.
cut the gas line and then They're just sitting there. It's like, you smell something? Oh no. God, is just the place blowing up.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Who knew that blowing up buildings could be pure comedy, but it is.
Yeah,
And there's like,
within this fabric, right? It's pretty much more, I think at most it's a comedy, really
yeah,
mixed in.
this has like Big Lebowski energy to it. Because
Hmm.
like it's got the lines that are funny, but I think like you go back to this three, four, five, six more times, it'll just get funnier every time.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess per Eric's wishes, we will not mention who else is in this movie because you will note when you see them, it is a nice thing, even though, like Eric mentioned, in the plot summary of this Apple TV Plus movie, The Instigators, they list all of these wonderful part of the ensemble. But I was thinking the same thing as Eric. There is a reveal towards, I'd say, maybe 35% into the movie regarding either a police investigator or just an enforcer on the police force. And when you realize who that person is, it's a great, cool reveal. And
Yeah.
we don't want to spoil it for you. And that
There,
person, yeah,
there's another guy giving a speech. It's like, is that? Oh, that is. That
yeah,
is the.
yeah. So some really
So
good,
when you're watching it and you're just kind of thinking to yourself, is that who I think it is? It's probably exactly who you think it is.
yeah. So the instigators just, I think if I have, it's not a complaint. I will just say this though, because it really did receive its share of mixed reviews. I don't know why. It's just a fun movie, well written. By the way, Casey Affleck is a co-writer in this movie. I just had the only thing is all of these characters are so fun. You want a little bit more of them because all of these and but that's the whole dynamic. It reminds me of True Romance where you wanted a little bit more of Chris Walken, but he's just in it for a little bit. It's okay. You wanted more Dennis Hopper. And in this Instigators, I think I wanted more of a lot of the incidental characters, the supporting characters, but that's not the movie. The movie is really focused on Rory, Cobby, and the therapist. And yeah, I just for me, grade A entertainment, turn off your brain, enjoy it. If you don't want to go out Friday night or Saturday night, you have a really good movie on Apple TV Plus. 4 stars for me. What about
Oh,
you, Eric?
that seems incredibly low, but I mean,
What?
it's
Four stars?
I,
4 out of 5 stars. That's above average, Eric.
yeah. This one's comfort food for me. Like this
Oh,
is one I could just go back and watch over and over again. Uh,
oh,
like it feels like it came out in the '90s.
mm,
This would be like one of the classics, like uh Lebowski or Fight Club or
oh,
the or not even those kind of movies. True Romance is probably a good pull. Pulp Fiction's probably a good
mm.
example of like movies where you Dazed and Confused,
Okay.
because it's not so much about the plot, it's about hanging out with the characters. And even like you said, I agree that some of the characters I wish we could spend more time with. But once they're done, they introduce another character and it's interesting, just as fun. And this is just, I think I'm giving it 6.9 now. This could go up on rewatches and probably will go up on rewatch. I don't know what it's going to go up to because
Well,
6.9 is as high as you can go. But I mean, this movie's just going to age like fine wine.
Eric, at the end of this year, I know it's might be too soon to tell, but we're already in August, actually. Could it be one of your top 10 or top 20 films of 2024? Just right off the
I
top of your head.
Oh, definitely top 20, probably top 10 as well.
Okay.
The weird thing is, do I keep this or do I keep Roadhouse? Maybe put them neck and neck. I don't know because I love both of them.
Oh,
I would say because I know a lot of people don't like Roadhouse. I think people are going to dig this a lot more than Roadhouse. But
yeah.
yeah, I feel like the Dazed and Confused, Big Lebowski type movies, even Gone Baby Gone, like the less serious parts of Gone Baby Gone, the more kind of jovial, fun parts of that. I think you'll fit right in with this.
Okay. So that is 6.9 stars for Eric Holmes. 4 stars for me. A low rating, said Eric Holmes. We'll see. Tell us what you think of The Instigators when it comes out on Apple TV Plus Friday, August 9th.